All right, hello. Whoa, struggle timer. I don't even know what that is. Let me get that off there. That must have been left over from gaming or something. Let's hide that. Well, welcome. Good evening and hello. Hide that. There, much better. Sorry, got my streams crossed. It's all right. Good evening, hello, and welcome. If you were joining me for that Government 101 final exam review. This is very similar to what we did in midterm. This is extraordinarily similar to what we did at the midterm because it's the same format, the same sort of things going on. Really, the only thing that's different is the content. The style is the same. So welcome in. We're going to go over everything that we need to go over, but this is exactly the same format as your midterm. So frequently asked questions, that's always the great place to start, and then we'll get into content sorts of things. If you want to join me in voice, feel free. If you want to ask questions, but I'd ask for you to please hold off on that until we get to sorry, I was making sure my headphones were on. Until we get to the end of it. Yeah, I hear you, Ben.
Okay.
All right. So, frequently asked questions, right? The exam, it opens tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Sorry, I haven't used this layout in a bit. Right, the exam opens at 5 a.m. tomorrow. And it's going to be open all the way until 11:59 p.m. on Wednesday. Right, you'll have 2 hours to take it during that period of time. If you need, what is it? The extended time, let me know. I'll make sure I get that added in as an override. The format's the exact same. There are 10 IDs, right? Each are worth 6 points. And it's going to pull, right, from that random pool of all those other questions you've been dealing with. There's also going to be one kind of big picture essay. I have found in past semesters that this is easier, right? Most students do better on this exam, right? It's a little bit more tangible, a little bit more straightforward. Students usually do about 5 points better on the final than they do on the midterm. That's just what I've observed. That might not, your mileage may vary. Keep that as a caveat. You will have 2 hours to take it from the time you click go, but you've pretty much learned how to do that at this point. As always, there's the Moodle error. Please make sure you write your answers in another program and copy and paste them into Moodle. No study guide. You can review the lectures at any point in time. You can always go back, watch them on YouTube, pause them where you need to. You can watch it slow, you can watch it fast, right? You have that available to you. So there's that. Right, so all those things are the same. You experience that with the midterm anyway. So there shouldn't be too many questions about that. Although if there are, I am definitely willing to deal with them. Keeping an eye on chat, keeping an eye on Discord. You got questions there. We got Ben's in the chat with me. He's in the Discord, so if he's got any questions, he can ask it there. Otherwise, drop them in chat. You can even drop them in 101 online main Discord. James L thought I had some creepy music going on. Honestly, I can't even hear it. I don't know what the music is. I've got it pumped through and routed in different ways, so I don't know what the songs are. There we go. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. See, we got about 5 of y'all hanging out. So let me know. I'm planning to be on at least for another 6 minutes, and I'll stay on as long as y'all want me to. I'll start I guess we'll call it the struggle timer now. We'll call it something else. I was playing Breath of the Wild on stream, and I was struggling, so I gave them a struggle timer before they could help me.
When do you play Breath of the Wild?
The music's still loud?
Mondays? No, when do you play Breath of the Wild on Mondays?
No, Breath of the Wilds, I've been playing that Tuesdays and Fridays. So like today I played Paper Mario. Thursday I'm going to play Ni no Kuni. Saturdays I play Fire Emblem. And I usually do a little bit of Fire Emblem a little bit of Breath of the Wild after Fire Emblem.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I'll start the question timer, which I hid earlier. There it is. It's back up. We like that better.
So it would be this. So it would be the same format as the last exam.
It's the exact same format as the last exam. Yeah. So you've got those 10 ID questions and an essay. Oh, that looks much more professional. Let's go with that. Getting my streams mixed up today. All right, are grades accurate in Moodle? Grades should be accurate in Moodle. Let me give them a quick peek. But they should be reflective of where you stand. The only thing that you are currently missing is your final. All of your quizzes should be graded. All of your reaction papers should be graded. It's a question for the whole class. The question, right, so the big essay question is specifically for the final exam, right? It deals with the second half of the course. But, right, that doesn't mean that it's just the second half of the course, right? This is one of those courses where everything kind of builds on itself. So it might need, you might need a little bit of input. Yeah, you're going to need a little bit of input from the first half of the semester as well. You could probably answer it with just the stuff from the second half, but a really good answer is going to bring in things from the first half. But everything else is drawn specifically from the second half of this course. All right.
That's good to know.
Taking a look at your grades. Yeah, the grades should appear to be accurate as of right now. Yeah, I dropped quizzes. Your response papers are all graded. Yeah, those are accurate. The essay question needs to answer the question. It's good. In my mind, this is at least a 3 to 5, right? If I were answering it, it'd probably be 4 pages. It'd probably be 3 pages written, but I write fast. So like 5 paragraphs would right? A 5-paragraph essay would probably go pretty well to answering this question. Let's see, what else? Grades are accurate. The question is just after the midterm, but is informed by everything. Essay question, I'd say at least 5 paragraphs. In the 5-paragraph range is about right. Video, I'm still on.
So everything after the midterm review is gonna be on the final.
Yeah, right. Everything after the midterm, right, is valid for the final. The weight of the final, as it says in your syllabus, it's worth 30% of your final grade.
Yeah. Okay. So it's gonna be congruous to foreign policy.
Yes, those are the ones.
Okay.
Right, so like the big institutional ones, domestic policy and foreign policy.
Okay, just making sure.
No, that's a good question. I think this is the first time we've actually had someone pop in the voice channel to ask questions during this, and I think that works pretty well. Just saying, I like it.
I'm just in the mood to talk.
Will there be something similar to the response papers? In some ways, the final essay is a little bit like a response paper, but it's much more similar to the essay from the midterm. Right now, all right. So officially, yes, there is nothing from before the midterm on the final. But again, this is a course that's very reliant on everything kind of scaffolding itself up, right? Building upon itself. So just because there's not going to be any terms drawn directly from the material before the midterm doesn't mean that it's not going to play in to your answers for the final. Can you get a letter of recommendation? Shoot me an email. Or send me a message in Discord and we can talk about it there. Because I need a little bit more information from you before I really feel comfortable writing letters of recommendations. I like to tailor them a little bit. Let's see, what else?
So
500 word cap. No, there's not a 500 word cap on the essay. Yeah, right. Just, like I'm not putting a word count limit on you. You can write as much as you want. I'm just going to say that for that final essay, again, right, 500 words is probably about right. I wouldn't go too much below that. Um, again, like 3 pages is about right for that question. Let's see.
So, I'm sorry. I need to come up with a question with what I'm
Okay.
imagining in my head.
Yeah. Go
So
for
for the first half of the class, we can use that material to answer the questions, but it is not needed.
Yeah, right. So that the first half of the class's material is kind of like scaffolding stuff, right? You know how when you build a scaffold, you're building up and up on top of things, right? That the first half is kind of the broader information. It gives you kind of a broad set of stuff, and then you get more specific as we're going into the second half. But because we're being more specific, that means it's also more tangible. You can grab your hands onto it a little better. It's a less kind of broadly philosophical about politics and more like the nitty gritty, like how a bill becomes a law, sort of stuff. And that's just the most tangible example I go back to. So yeah, that's you should be able to answer it without needing information from the first half of the class, but that'll make your answers better, if that makes sense.
So we can use the first half of the class to make the answers stronger and
exactly
stiff, if you know what I mean by stiff, like more structured. And I don't know what I mean.
Yeah, or just right. It's good. It's good.
More structured
Flavor text. Or,
flavor.
Yeah. Other things. Nope. What else am I? Oh, this is one, right? This exam, there are a couple of terms that you might see that we use differently in this class than we use elsewhere. That Wikipedia and Google give you the wrong answer and lead you astray. You've all been exposed to those questions already, and I have corrected you if you ran into them. Specifically, it's dual mandate. That one gets me real mad. We use a very different approach to dual mandate than you'll see elsewhere, right? So if I see things like dual mandate is the Fed's job to keep unemployment low and to fight inflation, you're not gonna have a good time. If I see you say the dual mandate is a politician holding 2 offices at the same time, you're not gonna have a good time. So don't use those. Those are the wrong answers. I'm giving you this right now. Don't do those. Do not do that. That's the big one. There's a couple of other ones that might be a little bit tricky, but I didn't seem to have too much difficulty with it this semester. Again, since I'm trusting y'all. We're not using Respondus. We're not using ProctorU. I'm not forcing y'all to sit down and have a Zoom call with me while you're taking your exams. Right. You're on your own. But if I see something that I suspect is out of place, then I will drop the ban hammer real hard. You will receive a 0 on the exam, and you will be reported to academic affairs. And they've made everything real easy to do online now. So, and they know me, and I turn in the same thing every semester. Although I haven't had to deal with it, I didn't have to do it last semester. So I want to keep that streak alive. So just don't do it. Just say no. Don't do cheating. Just don't do it. Other than that, I'm gonna put the timer back on. If there are no more questions, I'm gonna let this one run out. We'll call this the final countdown. Sorry, a little cheesy. But this will give you all 3 minutes to get a question in, just in case. This exam review is going to be available at the exact YouTube link. It's in Moodle, the same one you're at right now. If you want to go back and rewatch it, there hasn't really been content stuff, so there's that. Yeah, big takeaways. It's the exact same format as the midterm. Y'all did okay on those. I'm pretty happy with how y'all did on those. So I think we're going to be all right this semester, this summer semester.
If you don't mind me asking, what is dual mandate?
All right, so the
And
dual mandate is a particular problem of presidential regimes, right? What happens under a dual mandate is the way that we have these elections, we elect our House of Representatives, we elect our legislature, whatever. We elect them, they have their own set of elections, Senate has its own set of elections. They're doing their own thing. That means that we've kind of said, hey, y'all need to do this. But we also have a separate set of elections for our president.
Okay.
And a lot of times the American public likes to vote differently for those things. So there'll be a president from one house, from one party, and then the House and Senate will be from another party. And under that situation, they've both legitimately been elected. They both have a mandate from the people, what we call the electoral mandate. The people have given them their will, said go out and govern for us. And in a presidential regime, we have this problem where they can be at loggerheads with each other, right? That because they both have a electoral mandate, right? There's this dual mandate floating around. We don't actually know who's really supposed to be in charge, right? We've divided up our power in this country. So Congress kind of has one thing it's supposed to do. The president has a thing it's supposed to do. And the problem with the dual mandate is that because they each have their own mandate, it's really tough to get things accomplished, right? And this leads to a lot of things like the logjam in Congress, right? Congress not passing any bills, really nothing getting done. In a time when there is an emergency and the government needs to respond quickly, like now,
Okay.
right? They can't do that because the president has one thing and Congress has another thing, right? And they're both legitimately elected. So who's actually in charge is the big question there. And that's that for me, that's the central problem with our presidential electoral system, is that we don't know who's in charge, right? And in times when we need the government to be fast, because we've divided up power and had all these checks and balances, the government has to move slow. It's not a bug, it's a feature. So that's what we're dealing with when we talk about the dual mandate.
Okay.
Good. Anyone else? I'll restart the timer if y'all want me to. Oh, got a message from James. Doesn't that work similar to anarchy, right? Anarchy is more like there's not an overarching authority who can enforce agreements, right? That's what we're talking about when we talk about anarchy, is that there's just no one there to enforce agreements, right? It's not this problem of there's two, right? Dual mandate's almost there's too many chefs in the kitchen, right? Whereas anarchy is there is no executive chef, right?
That's a nice way of thinking about it.
Yeah. Right. Sometimes you need someone like Gordon Ramsay yelling to make sure that things get done the way they need to get done. And we have like 537 of those in the United States. And that creates a problem, right? The problem of the dual mandate. Whereas anarchy would be there's just not anyone there to do that. Now, things can still function, right? That's not to say that anarchy can't work. But at the same time, right, it's sometimes nice to have one clear, singular voice directing things. The essay will not have a 500-word cap like the response papers. In fact, I'd almost say that 500 words is closer to a floor than a cap. All right. I'm gonna give one. All right. Just curious, if aliens were to come down and tell you to take me to your leader, who would you bring them to? I would probably right now today I'd bring them to Jacinda Ardern in New Zealand. That's who I'd bring them to. In the United, if I had to, gun to head, bring them to someone in the United States. Ooh, that's a tough one. I'd probably bring them to
Elon Musk.
Yeah, Elon Musk's. Yeah, we'll bring him to Elon Musk. He can probably figure it out from there. But that's probably not the way it'll be. If you haven't been following the reporting in New York Times on the government's UFO studies, yeah, it's been interesting. Just Google New York Times UFOs, and then you'll be readjusted on that. All right. I'm gonna give it 1 more minute. I'm gonna reset the timer to 1 minute, and if there's nothing else in that 1 minute, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day. Y'all have been a pleasure to teach. This semester has gone a lot better than several of the other summers that I've done this. I think this is the first time I've done 101 in the summer, and this went well. So I'm real proud of y'all. Return, you ran out of time. Yeah, you only have 2 hours. So make sure you keep an eye on the clock. It's important.
You might be able to answer this. You might not be able to answer this, but you know when the Moodle people are putting the like the classes for this semester in Moodle?
You will be able to see the fall semester classes, I think August 1st, right? We've been told it's going to be August 1st. I've already got my Moodle pages made, although I'm going to have to make some changes. Looks like I'm probably going to have to go full-time online this semester. Just got some medical diagnoses over the last couple weeks that are making that look like it's going to have to happen.
Yeah.
But you should be able to see your Moodle pages on August 1st, right? On Monday. Well,
Okay.
it'll either be Saturday or Monday, one of those two. It's soon. You're going to have at least a week to look at these things and be able to know what you need to do. So
Okay,
that's
thank
coming
you.
up soon. So there you go. All right. Well, we have run out of time unless someone throws an emoji in chat to let me know what questions coming. I'm going to sign off. I'm going to wish you good luck. Tomorrow morning, make sure you take your exams. If you have any technical issues, please Discord me as soon as possible or email me. Just get into touch with me as soon as possible. Content stuff, at this point, you're kind of on your own. I will have everything graded on Thursday. Your final grade should be on Thursday. So you should be good to go there. Other than that, thank you all very much. Have a great evening. Have a great semester. Everyone stay safe, stay healthy, stay sane. And I hope to see you all again in the future.
You too.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
You too.